Good evening. I wanted to talk to you folks about Bigfoot and trail cameras. This is a very hotly contested subject, and a lot of the professionals, so called professionals, and so called real hardcore researchers will tell you you're wasting your time with trail cameras. And generally, I would agree with that statement, but I would say there's a lot of buts in that, and I would say that there's a lot of circumstantial type stuff and a lot of things that I don't completely give up on trail cameras. Now, people tell me all the time whenever I mention trail camera, oh, they can see the infrared, or they can hear the mechanism working, or they use their infrasound to disrupt the trail camera workings the same way that they can use it to drain batteries. And yeah, I believe it. I think that's a real thing. How many times they always say that deer supposedly can't see trail cameras too, but as you're going to see in the videos, they look right at it. Even at night on cheap trail cameras, when I've been in the woods, you can see a flash out of the corner of your eye, or a real faint flicker from it, and you're not supposed to be able to see it. But if you're walking around at night and your eyes are real dilated, you can pick it up sometimes, especially on the cheaper cameras. By the way, the images you're seeing in the background are just some stuff I found. I'm making no claims to authenticity. Some of these are guys in a costume. Some of these are a bear from an odd angle. And some of these, I don't know. Some of these could be a Sasquatch. Like this one here, I would say was a bear until you look at its head. I mean, it could be a bear turned weird. And this one always intrigued me. They talked about this one on Finding Bigfoot. It looks a lot like a guy in a mangy ghillie suit with shoulder pads on, but it could be a Sasquatch as well. Anyway, the main point is that I don't completely give up on it. I think in certain parts of the country where hunting is really huge, where there's trail cameras everywhere, people are out at night, people are using night vision, especially to hunt hogs. I think the Bigfoots are very, very leery of this stuff, and I think they know what's going on with it to a certain extent. I've also heard theories that they possibly can smell. You know, when you go out and you touch a trail camera, they can smell the human on it. And there's all sorts of different things on theories on this. But I think, but I've also talked to some other Bigfoot researchers and some other people and heard on numerous podcasts that, oh, yeah, you can get them on trail cameras. And so I don't completely give up on it. I think in certain areas where they're maybe not used to seeing trail cameras all the time, you might be able to catch them off guard, especially if they're moved around, or if they're younger ones, they're probably going to be a little more curious of it. By the way, this photo always got me. I just spent a bunch of time with this photo, increasing darkness and lightness and exposure and trying to see what you can see. But you can see the deer there and some two big glowing things that could be eyes or reflectors or something else. Kind of creepy. But if you look at a scale, that would have to be a mountain giant. Anyway, completely off subject. Also, even if you never catch a Bigfoot in a trail camera, you get a lot of circumstantial evidence. The fact that deer, if you see population of deer, male and females and fawns, if you see other predators, if you see bobcats and mountain lions, if you see bears, the ecosystem being able to support large mammals is a very good sign for supporting Bigfoot. And I think people kind of forget that a trail camera, yeah, if we get the $1 million shot on there, that's great. That's, the primary goal of what we're doing. But if we get a lot of circumstantial evidence, we get a lot of other cool stuff. Plus, I just like wildlife photos. And I think you can get I think if you get a good quality camera and you move it around and you have it off a beaten path or in a funnel way where they maybe have no choice, I think you could get it on camera. Now, there's people that would argue with me. I know the Olympic Project, they do great work. When they started off, they tried to do a mostly visual with a lot of trail cameras, and they didn't have very much luck. And I get it, but I'm willing to try. It's a great way to get information in the woods when you're not there. I think you could also do some stuff like if you put a trail camera facing a certain direction with muddy area behind it, and then maybe get some footprints or other evidence, or if there's bushes behind it, something's going to have to go through and tree break or get hairs. I think there's a lot of different ways you can utilize a trail camera besides just taking pictures. And I think it's worth exploring and taking a look at. Anyway, for me, I find it fun. I know people, whenever I mention trail cameras, come on here and go, you're wasting your time. We don't want to see that. And my response is, my videos are always very clearly marked. If there's a video you don't want to watch, don't watch it. If I come up with some dorky trail camera video, you guys don't have to watch it, and you guys usually let me know in the comments that's not what you want to see. But in the end, I do this channel for me, for my own research, and I want to share things with you guys that I've learned. And trail cameras is one of those things that where I can take direct experience and relay it to you guys. And I've heard a lot about trail cameras. I've had some experience with them in the past, but the more I use them, the more I learn, and I feel that's worthwhile because, like I said, it's basically a spy in the woods, and it's also a lot of fun. So that's kind of my official stance on trail camera. Maybe later this summer, I'm also got some out-of-state expeditions planned. They're kind of just fun to do and fun to use. So I'm going to continue to do it. I'm also going to continue to do theory videos and photo and video analyzation, all the stuff you've come to see on this channel. But yeah, I think you can get Bigfoot on a trail camera. I think it's extremely difficult, and I think like most things, it's very circumstantial on how you're going to catch them, if they're used to seeing them, if you have young ones, old ones, if they're used to being around humans, if they're not. So that's kind of my 2 cents. If you like what you see here, folks, give this video a thumbs up, and please subscribe, and stay safe in the woods, folks.